What's up, guys? How's it going? It's me, Dakota303 here. And what you guys have sitting in front of you is a Dell Latitude d600. Now, this video is kind of going to be a semi-review, but not really, because this computer is really outdated to today's terms. So, it's kind of just going to be like an overview kind of thing, and like obviously the condition of it and all that kind of stuff. And my plan use for this laptop. So I've owned this Dell Latitude since I believe 2016, maybe 2017, somewhere in there is when I purchased it. I think I got it for like maybe $40 at the time. Excuse me, Rona, just kidding. But yeah, 2016 or 2017 is when I got this PC. I mainly got it as a school laptop at the time, because at the time this computer was actually still decent compared to now in 2021, when it's basically struggling to even exist anymore, if that makes any sense. As you can kind of see on the outside, the whole computer is actually in really rough shape. Even the backside's in really rough shape. And then when you see the inside, you're really gonna... Some collectors of these might call me crazy. You're like, why did you neglect this PC? Well, I'll get to the inside in a minute, and how the rough shape of it is. So, when I actually got this laptop back in 2016, it was actually in decent shape. It didn't really have all this residue and stuff, which I could probably easily really get off if I wanted to, but I'm just too lazy. So I haven't really bothered with it because I rarely use the computer anymore. But if I remember correctly, when I first got this computer, it had a lower spec Intel Pentium M processor, and it had no hard drive. So that and the battery was completely shot, and it had no Wi-Fi card, if I remember correctly. So I put a 40 gigabyte hard drive in it. I actually upgraded the processor to I think it was a 1 point something beforehand, but I upgraded it to a 1.5 gigahertz. So it's now got a Intel Pentium M at 1.5 gigahertz. I believe when I first got it, I think it may have had 512 megabytes of RAM or a gig of RAM. I don't exactly remember, but I do know now I upgraded the RAM, so it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM, which I think that's the maximum it can hold. I'm not exactly for sure. Windows XP, even though this thing has ran Windows 7 in its lifetime, but it was very slow, so since it's kind of more of a history PC to me now, I just downgraded it back to XP, and that's what it's been running on ever since. This computer also has a ATI Radeon 9000 with 32 megabytes of video RAM. So, in terms of like using the internet nowadays, watching YouTube videos, don't even try it, because it's not even worth it anymore, of how the internet is so advanced nowadays. Even these newer cheap modern PCs are almost as compared to these nowadays, because they cannot barely even run YouTube videos now, and they're way more modern and running like Windows 10 and Windows 11. So yeah, so as you can definitely see, it is in very rough shape, and I actually gave this to my cousin at one point in time, which he was probably 10 or 11 at the time, and he decided to get a marker and completely paint the inside of the laptop, and then he got colored duct tape and duct taped the whole front panel, or this whole top part here. So yeah, he really damaged this computer beyond repair. I mean, I wasn't super mad at him, because I mean, the thing is old, so I'm not really going to worry about it too much. But let's go ahead and go over the ports, shall we? So obviously here you got your headphone and microphone, a IR sensor, I believe, I might be wrong, and of course you got an expansion slot here. And then you got your fan vents back here, you have a couple of them. Power cord here, serial, VGA, and then parallel, if I believe that's correct. Ethernet, modem, I think this is an AV out, I believe. And then of course you got two USB ports. And then on this side, you obviously have the DVD, CD, RW combo. So other than that, that's about it. We turn it over here to the back side. The battery here is completely stone dead. I do not know why it does not charge anymore. I believe it's because I don't have an actual Dell power adapter, so it's not charging. But it did hold a charge at one point in time, but it no longer does anymore as far as I know. Alright, so let's go ahead and plug in the power cord here. I actually booted this PC up a couple weeks ago, and for some reason, I don't know if that's why I'm really starting to think this computer is on its way out very slowly, because it turned on, but it kind of more or less acted like it was completely brain dead. Like, it would not post. The lights would turn on, but that's about it. Like, it wouldn't post, nothing would show up on the screen. I ended up taking the RAM out and putting it back in to fix the problem. So, I don't exactly know what that was, but anywho. So as you can see, the inside is completely red. As you can see, he actually put a marker to remake the Latitude logo, and then of course he put a bunch of words on here. And also, Windows XP is old as shit, because it is. He also put that on there, and then he actually took off the Windows XP sticker and just redrew a Windows XP sticker. Like, as I said, I wasn't too mad at him. I mean, I was just like, why did you write on it and color it? But that was better. I mean, what can you do? I mean, if it was a newer computer, I'd be kind of very irritated at him and probably wanted to smack him upside the head. But anyway, let's go ahead and power this machine on here. So for some reason, this computer takes a very long time to boot on the BIOS. I am not exactly sure why, but if I press F2, sometimes it will actually go by quicker. Let me actually just go ahead and shut it back off and turn it back on. Might make it so much easier. Maybe not. So yes, it is very, very slow. I do not know why it takes this long, but yeah, it's terrible. It's just taking its time. It's just like it's struggling. It's like dying to stay alive. And of course, time of day is not 6. I'm pretty sure the BIOS battery is dead. And then it obviously gives an error about the power adapter. So, as I said, it's got Windows XP Professional on it. Coming to terms, considering I have a way more powerful PC and it's got an SSD compared to this standard hard drive, this thing is very, very slow. Let me press the Control-Delete button real quick. So as you can see, it's pretty much kept stock. I haven't really done nothing with it, really. Let's go to control panel here. I'll show you guys the properties, which weirdly enough, I can press this and it doesn't do anything, or even this one. And it doesn't do nothing on the start menu, but it does work. For some reason, it just does not want to work with pressing it on the control panel. So I have to actually go up here, go into the system information, and then obviously there's the specs here. For some reason, the computer is saying that it's got a 1500 megahertz processor. I don't understand that, even because it's a 1.5 gigahertz. So I have no idea why it says that. But either way, so I cannot connect this computer to the network, considering my actual internet here is way too powerful for this computer. We only have 5G service with our internet provider, so this computer will not connect to a 5G bandwidth on my router, which is kind of weird, but it's not surprising considering this thing is, you know, almost 20 years old, 21 years old, somewhere around there. I think it was released in 2002, so that makes it about 19 years old. So it's really shocking considering that this computer is that old, considering it just felt like it was yesterday and Windows XP was still a thing. But obviously now we're at Windows 11 now, so it's definitely, and everyone still is coming to terms with Windows 7 of the end of support. But that was the end of the era of great operating systems, I should say. I mean, besides Vista, but we ain't going to talk about Vista in this video. But other than that, everything else runs semi-decent on it. If you want to play solitary, you can do that on this computer. The last time I actually used... I can actually connect to my MISC Wi-Fi, if I even remember the password to it. Hold on just a second. Alright, so I'll see if it connects to it. Apparently it did. So we're going to try to get online here. I'm going to actually use Opera because screw Internet Explorer. Because nothing will really load on it. So as you can see, it's very, very laggy. Like it's, yeah, you can see how well it's doing here. It's very, very slow. So it's even getting to the point where even simple internet searches, and now the computer is completely frozen. So yeah, you can see here everything has, yeah. So this computer is not going to be doing any web surfing anytime soon. That's why I pretty much disconnected it from the internet entirely, because it's just not capable of doing it anymore. So if you're gonna play like old PC games, this computer is perfect. Or even playing like solitary, 3D pinball, stuff like that, this computer is good for. But anything else, you might as well just chuck it at a wall, because you're not gonna get you're not gonna get nothing out of it. They said it's struggling right now to even run. So, in other words, I probably would not check it at a wall either, because it might put a massive hole in your wall, and I don't think you'd want that. But yeah. So that's the that's the overview of this Dell Latitude D600. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one.